At 4ZZZ, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we broadcast. We pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging of the Turrbal and Jagera people. We acknowledge that their sovereignty over this land was never ceded.
And we stand in solidarity with them.
You're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ, amplifying the trans and gender non-conforming voices of Brisbane and beyond.
Hello, you're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ. Transmission, all about amplifying the trans and gender non-conforming voices of Meanjin and beyond. My name is Ez, I use he, him pronouns.
And I'm Kai, and I use they, she pronouns.
And it's the classic duo today on Transmission, the founding members of Transmission. I was going to say founding parents.
Yeah, sure, it's our baby.
Yeah. Oh, a little baby Transmission show. Transmission today, we're going to be catching up on some week in community events, as well as Kai will be doing a bit of a recap of May Day march and rally through the CBD yesterday. Sorry, you're giving me a confused look.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
we're going to do a little recap on that. And I'm going to be later talking about sport. Yes, I know. Trans people love sport. But don't worry, I have quite a history with sport, and I'd like to chat a little bit about it, especially since there is the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023 here in Australia and New Zealand. I have lots of feelings about all things, so we're going to talk about that a bit later today as well. But first up, community events and news. Yeah, okay, so first one is a QT's meetup at Brunswick Hotel. So QT's is run by Dylan from Many Genders One Voice. I've been to a few of these, especially early on in my transition. QT's is a safe, social and support group for trans masc, gender diverse and non-binary masc folk at all different stages of transition in life. So there's no prejudice there. To talk, share experiences, ask questions, and just generally hang out with like-minded folk. And it's also, family and friends friendly, so you can also bring someone along with you. This is at the Brunswick Hotel on Saturday, 6th of May from 2 p.m. onwards. It's completely free. They just grab a table. You can go grab a beer, sit down and chat with other folk like yourself. This is for trans masc people, predominantly because, there's not a lot of spaces for us, really. So this is one of those really cool events, really cool spaces that get put together. And Dylan, if you know Dylan from Many Genders One Voice and QC as well, he is lovely. So, yeah.
And it's monthly, right?
It's monthly, yeah. Happens every month. Usually the first Saturday of every month, or first weekend of every month. Yeah.
Cool. Also coming up, we've got Nicolene Martin's One of Them single launch, which is at Do Bop Bar, which is 101 Edward Street in Brisbane, from 8:30pm to 11:45pm. It's also a free event. Come join in the celebration for the release of the first single, One of Them, off my upcoming album with the band, plus some sneaky special guest appearances to be announced.
Oh, temptation. Little tease there. Yeah, so there you go. That's your weekend event. Yeah. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it. I think April was a really big month, so yeah. I'm looking forward to a bit of chill May.
Chill May. Yeah, especially because it's getting colder, I want to hibernate.
Get cozy. It was really cold this morning.
With the cat. Yeah. There's also a Sapphics event, I think, this weekend, but it's sold out, no?
Yeah, look.
Sapphics yoga.
With Sapphics events, you've got to keep your finger on the pulse because those events are selling out regularly now, so...
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
They're really, really cool space as well, Sapphics. Yeah, there's another event later in this month as well.
Coming up on, I'm pretty sure if the 20th of May is a Saturday, it's that day.
Yep, it is indeed. This Saturday, the 20th of May, there's be another Sapphics Club night.
I know time.
Yeah, I know. What? Never happens to us neurodiverse folk.
How many genders are there?
I don't know. I just got here.
Yeah, I just got here. My name is Ez. I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Kai, and I use they, she pronouns.
And we're going to be having a chat About, you found some news.
Oh, yeah. So some cool news. So abstract call-outs for the OzPath Conference 2023 have just opened. So OzPath is the Australian Professional Association for Transgender Health. And pretty much, the abstract deadline is 14th of May 2023. Abstracts are now open for the OzPath Conference in Melbourne this November. They are accepting submissions from all professionals working in transgender health, including researchers, nurses, physicians and general practitioners, surgeons, psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers, advanced practice providers, social scientists, voice and communication professionals, physical therapists and others. Yes, so the actual conference is from the 2nd to the 4th of November 2023. You can find more information at ozpathconference.com.au.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Be cool.
Yeah, so we were also I wasn't there, but you were there yesterday.
Yeah, I went to the union rally. It was really cool. It was really great. It's always such a good turnout.
It was a history-making march, though, really.
Oh, yes. It was for the sex worker contingent. I think it was the first time they were actually marching in it.
Yeah.
But it was also just happened to line up a couple of days ago that they... it's been confirmed that decriminalisation will be passed for sex workers. So
Yay!
That's really exciting for Queensland. We don't know what it will actually look like yet. That's to be decided. There's a lot. This is just one battle won so far. I think there's much more to come. But very exciting stuff for everyone that was there.
Yeah. It was really cool. I'm pretty happy with union stuff. We don't talk too much about the union stuff because there's actually a show after Transmission called Workers' Power, which is all about unions and your rights as workers. So, yeah, you can get more information from them about unions.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will be doing a much more detailed coverage.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the day that Bill lives for. He's nodding profusely in the studio, yeah. He's like, yes, it is.
But it's really great to see everyone coming together and all of the support that different unions have for different groups. And, everyone was really wearing a lot of the Voice of Parliament, support things. There was
Stop the War Treaty Now.
No,
not that one. Different one.
Separate things.
Okay, both another topic.
Both very good, valid causes that I am not
equipped to comment about.
Exactly. Yeah. Gosh,
I've lost your train of thought now.
You threw me.
Gosh. Amplifying the voices of the trans and gender non-conforming community of Meanjin, Brisbane and beyond.
Transmission on 4ZZZ brings you the latest in trans community news, music and events.
Every Tuesday from 9am till 10am.
Join our team of hosts for an hour of celebrating the unique perspectives of the trans community.
Transmission, Tuesday mornings from 9am till 10am on 4ZZZ. So much great new music coming out of the trans community here in Australia at the moment. I am just like, don't you dare tell me that it's a small pool of music that I have to choose from when I'm off air, people. Because I actually struggle to get it all in. It is really quite impressive, the breadth and depth and high fidelity of the music being produced by trans folk here in Australia. So, yeah.
You can't say that trans people aren't contributing beautiful things to the world.
Absolutely. Something else that's beautiful that they contribute is their athletic achievements.
Smooth transition. Yep.
We're really good at transitions here.
Yeah. Professionals.
I had to do it. Gender, I barely even know her. Sorry.
How many genders are there?
I don't know. I just got here.
I just wanted to play it again.
We're going to do that all the time now.
yeah, I don't know. I just got here. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we're talking about something kind of semi-serious. Actually, no, it is pretty serious. It is trans athletes, trans people in sport generally. And just for some context, a little history about me, myself, and I. I used to play professional soccer for Queensland. I played at a high level. I was, I'm the same age as Sam Kerr, who is the captain of the Matildas and arguably one of the best football players in the world currently. Gender irrelevant, full stop. Best in the world. And I love soccer with my entire being. I'm gonna say soccer, even though I need to say football. That's all right. Dad's not listening. We'll be fine. But I played that game at a very high level, and I played for women. Okay, so I played women's sport. I played with a team of girls, and I loved every single thing about it. The pressure was quite immense the higher up you get, and I admire the women that are in that sport at an elite level that are competing at the levels that they are, because the pressure is a lot. It was actually too much for me in the end, really. But I'm glad I'm not in football anymore. I'm glad I am where I am doing transmission and you lovely folk listening. However, I did want to talk about sport and trans people because it is the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023 and it's hosted here in Australia and New Zealand. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a lot of these players, particularly the Australian and New Zealand folk who are playing, because you literally, a World Cup being hosted in a country happens once in a generation for you, really. Like, you're never going to get this here again. I'm so happy and also envious for the Matildas that they get to have this incredible experience of playing. And there are trans players at high levels in women's sport. And I say it that way because we gender sport so much, which is quite bizarre when you think about it. Now, a lot of people have very controversial opinions about trans people in sport. First of all, if you're going to have a controversial opinion or opinions on trans people in sport, the first question you need to ask yourself is, 1, are you trans? Cool. Then you don't get a say on what people can do with their bodies. Full stop. If you're not trans. Cool. Glad. Also, when it comes to trans people and women's sport specifically, are you a woman and playing sport? Good. Cool. If you're not those things either, you also don't get a say with who's involved with your sport.
Oh my God, so many cis men having opinions.
Lots of cis men having opinions on women's things. Again, it still seems to be just constantly.
Trying to save those fragile cis women.
Yes, I know. Yes, I would call the Matildas
right?
fragile. What? Who's even the Socceroos anymore? Like, the women's team are definitely like national treasures. Anyway, those are just some things I'd like to set down for you. If you yourself are not trans, you yourself don't participate in the sport, particularly on any level, you do not play, you don't get a say. It's just like with abortion rights or bodies or other people's bodies. It's not yours, not your place to say anything. So, as someone who played professional sport with women, as a woman, I have to say that don't you dare tell us what we can tolerate on the pitch, because we know. And there's also no substantial evidence to suggest that trans people, particularly trans women, have any biological advantage. They don't. And also, all sports would be destroyed and be kind of pointless if everyone had equal perfect genetics and biology when it came to sport. An example would be like Michael Phelps. I would say that guy has an unfair advantage if we're going off of biology. The guy literally has flippers. Yeah, Michael Phelps excels at swimming, in part because he also has a wingspan, which is longer than his height. He is hyper-jointed in his chest, meaning he can kick from his chest instead of his ribs. His double-jointed ankles bend 15% more than his rivals, and coupled with his size, he's 14 feet, his legs act like giant flippers that help him glide through the water. He also doesn't produce, I think, lactic acid, or a lot of it, which is the stuff that builds up in your muscles that essentially can slow you down. So he has an insane amount of advantages physically as an athlete, and that's why he's so successful.
Great. Yeah.
And that's why we, are able to praise his ability in the water. Simone Biles, who also is that incredible US gymnast, at 4'8", she's quite, small. So her height to strength ratio enables her to do more flips and maneuvers in the same amount of time than any other gymnast. So, is that not an unfair advantage? Oh, maybe we're going to have height restrictions. Like, come on. If we're going to talk about this sort of stuff, and hormones, by the way, I'm on testosterone. I can't play women's sport anymore. I wouldn't want to. And also, why are we so wrapped up with trans women in women's sport, which, by the way, trans women are women? Why is no one talking about the horrible disadvantages of trans men in men's sport? No one's talking about that. That's because a lot of the stuff when we talk about sport and we talk about trans people in sport, it's inherently linked to misogyny. And it's all drenched in what women can handle. That is really what the discussion is. And I'd just like to say the only people who can say what women can handle are women. So I'm going to leave it on that front.
Well, also, I mean, separated sport, like by gender, is still a relatively new thing. I'm pretty sure sport was just like, or at least for most sports, I haven't got this article up in front of me, so
That's
I'm going
okay.
from memory. But, I think like very early 1900s and 1800s, a lot of sports weren't actually separated, and then that's especially professionally, or at least not in writing. And then a bunch of women, were beating the men. So they're like, oh, we can't have this,
Yeah, there was a
It's
lot
making
of...
the men look bad. So we better separate it, and then women can have their sport, and then, the men can have their sport, and they don't feel threatened.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite fascinating, this whole, got to split everything down the middle with gender, and everyone has unique disadvantages and advantages physically all the time.
I also think they tried to initiate in the Olympics a bunch of different times some kind of testing to make sure that everyone's hormones were a certain
I
way.
believe it was the Olympics.
Yeah, and then they had to stop doing it because they kept on finding out that it wasn't like that, and
Well, they did chromosome testing.
Yeah, and there was more intersex characteristics amongst the sport professionals because any little differences like that. Again, that's how we exist. Genetic difference is what makes us us, and that's what makes some people can help make some people excel in different areas.
Yeah, and particularly at high level sport, high level competition, all those players in those top teams, regardless of gender, will be naturally talented because that's how the selection process is as you start doing trials to get into certain teams and
you end
stuff.
up liking things that you're good at, right?
Yeah,
That's
well,
just how
we hope.
growing up is.
You're fortunate if you love the thing that you're good at.
Well, yeah.
But most people who play professional sport understand a challenge. I also, when we're talking about advantages and disadvantages in sport, something that also used to shock me, when I was 14, I was very tiny, very skinny, very slender, but I was very, very quick. And so the women's team, the over 18 women's team, I was really good at scoring goals, and occasionally they would have me brought up into the women's team to fill some of their games. And would you not argue that a 14-year-old playing with early 20s, fully developed grown women, would that not be a danger as well? I'm just confused a little bit about where the line is in terms of what's appropriate with physical advantage and disadvantage, even though there is no single biological factor that can determine sex at all anyway.
Yeah, I think we should dissolve the gendered sports, and then we all get to watch women beat men because they're more talented.
It'll happen. It'll happen. I don't doubt that. Also, watching, I just want to talk about the Matildas, really quickly. There's a really cool mini-series, it's 5 episodes on Disney Plus at the moment, talking about the Matildas. And something that I learnt recently was that one of the players on that team, who's just had a baby, she's come back and she's playing, she's fantastic, and she feels stronger and better than ever after having a baby. And there's a lot of studies and science showing that women who've had kids actually have they're stronger in a lot of ways after birth. There are a lot of really amazing hormones and cell reproduction that happens in your body after childbirth, and it's really cool to see women at this elite level having kids and doing what they love at the same time. I'm both extremely jealous and extremely proud to see them play, and you should totally, sorry for all the regular trans folk listeners who are sport, ew. But, I thought I'd mention it. Anyway, I don't know, I'm waffling on now.
Why is safety illegal for sex workers in Queensland?
It makes no sense to me, but it's true.
It's illegal to work in the same building as another sex worker.
It's illegal to hire a receptionist.
It's illegal to check in with another sex worker when your client leaves.
It's illegal to use a driver that another sex worker uses, and my boyfriend cannot be my driver.
It's illegal to share overheads or work in pairs.
It's illegal for me to text a friend my location.
We all want to be safe at work.
Stand with sex workers against harmful laws that make our safety strategies unlawful.
Respect Inc. is a non-profit, peer-based community organisation focused on protecting the rights, health and well-being of Queensland sex workers.
For more information, go to www.respectqld.org.au.
4ZZZ cares for our communities.
My name is Ez. I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Kai, and I use they, she pronouns.
And you've tuned in at the end of Transmission today. But don't worry, if you missed out, everything 4ZZZ does is you can listen back. So there's on demand. You can head over to 4ZZZ.org.au. You can head over to your programs tab, click in there, click on Transmission. You've got up to 5 weeks of episodes that you can listen back to. And that goes for all 102.1 FM broadcast shows, including DAB. I believe Z Digital you can also listen back to as well. Oh my gosh, there's just so much Z content. It's impossible to consume it all simultaneously.
Yeah.
I know that there are people out there though that have got the Radio 1 perpetually, always got Z going.
I would if I could.
Yeah, same. I would also. I mean, I pretty much have it on all the time. I don't have any other channel saved into my presets on my car. Anyway.
No, I've got DAB and I've got Z.
That's it. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I can't listen to the other stations. I can't listen to commercial radio.
Why would you?
Well, it's not people. It just feels very corporate. And sometimes, cocaine radio, everything's really intense and there's so many sounds. I'm like, just people talking would be great, and some good punk bangers would also be great. Thanks. That's
real music,
Yeah, exactly.
That the people choose.
Real music the people choose. That's right. Everything that is played on 4ZZZ is curated by volunteers, announcers. We all volunteer our time to do this. It's a big job.
And sometimes subscribers who text in and request songs.
That's right. If you are a recent subscriber, congratulations for April Atonement. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the community you love. I mean, I'm absolutely besotted with this station. I have it tattooed on my arm. It's not even a joke.
The amount of time I spend here for free.
I mean, I get so much out of it,
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what. So, yeah. If you're a subscriber, you get to text in your song requests. I only play trans artists, though, during the hour of transmission. So if you know a band or an artist that is trans, or you yourself are a trans musician, send us your music. Transmission at 4ZZZ.org.au.
Yeah, save us some sleuthing. We do a lot of sleuthing to try to find some cool trans artists to bring to you all. But I just know there's more out there. So if you're a trans person making music, or your friend is, send it in, please.
Send it in. Do it. Do it. We will play it 100%. Yes, we're about to head off. Have a banging Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah. Join your union.
Join your union. See you next Tuesday. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Transmission. See you next Tuesday, 9 to 10 a.m. on 4ZZZ.